Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Seeing the Light with Megan Hoffer Photography. I'm Megan, and today we are again in my front yard. But the difference today is that we have full sunlight quality versus yesterday when it was completely covered. So I'm going to show you the difference. So if you were able to watch the video from yesterday, and you can certainly go back and view it if you haven't, we took pictures right here at the end of the driveway. I was over here where the bikes and things were, and Rita was facing the way that the camera's facing. Well, today the sun is in the same spot that it was yesterday, but today it's out in full force. It's actually popping in and out from those clouds, but for the most part it is out in full force. We can see dark shadows on the ground, and if I were to film in the same direction today, this is what it would look like. And now a lot of people think that it's good to shoot with the sun in your face, because they think that it does fill in the shadows, and it does to a certain extent, but then it also creates shadows that we don't want. So for one, eating my hair, this shadow under my neck, we don't want that. My eyelashes are actually creating shadows. We don't want that. My hair is creating shadows, and I'm squinting is the biggest thing. So we don't want to do that. So what do we do? The easiest answer is we turn around. We put the sun behind us. And now I have this beautiful rim of light behind me. The sunlight on my front is even and beautiful. The only thing that I would change in this spot is that now I am facing the tree that's in front of me. I'm gonna turn it around to you. Now this is what I'm facing. And because it is white, it is reflecting the light that's behind me from those white puffballs and onto my face, so it kind of works. But it still is not exactly, this green tone here is not exactly the best reflector to have in front of me. So I'm gonna find a better spot. So basically I'm gonna walk away from the spot as far as I can go and see what available backgrounds we have. So I'm just gonna walk to the end of our property. We love our neighbors, so they don't mind if I go in their driveway. And here comes Rita. Here's what I have to look at in the front yard. So first things first, I would normally look for shade that's open to the sky. And we do have some. This tree is shade that's open to the sky, but there is a problem with it. And I'll tell you exactly why when I get over there. So if I were to take a picture of Rita in this open shade, yes, the sun's behind her. So if she's facing the camera, she's not going to have spotty light on her front. But if you see behind, it's going to be completely too bright in the background compared to the dark foreground. So there is a difference in the quality of light from the foreground through the background. We want it to be the same quality of light from the foreground through the entire background. And in this case, that doesn't fit that rule. So in staying consistent with forcing myself to shoot in the front yard today in the same spot that we were yesterday, I'm just gonna walk a little bit farther down the sidewalk the other way and shoot the other way. I want to use this white tree in the background. I'm gonna try and cut out the trunk for as many shots as I can, because two reasons. Number one, I don't like dark trunks in my shots whenever I can avoid them. And then also, this patch of shade is uneven light. So I'm gonna go for a shot that's probably vertical right down the center there to have some of those blooms in the background and kind of glowing with all that beautiful sunlight hitting it. And I also want to keep Rita on the sidewalk so that I'm reflecting clean light back up at her. And that will also help even out the amount of sun that's behind her and in front of her. Here we go. I know the concept of not having the sun directly hitting your face can be a little bit complicated. So I wanted to talk about that in a little bit more detail here today. So I know it's pretty easy to understand why you wouldn't want it hitting your face. All these shadows, even if you are directly on, it does fill in the shadows because that's what light's going to do. It's going to fill in shadows. But it's also going to cast shadows, just like we talked about earlier, and cause us to squint, which we don't want. So the reason why it works when we turn around the other way, you would think, since we're trying to fill in shadows, if we don't have the sun on our face, then we're not going to be filling in shadows. But the light that is on my front is indirect and soft. So the light is up here, the sun is up here above my head, out of the frame slightly because I didn't want to cause some lens flare here in the video, but it's coming down and bouncing off the sidewalk in front of me and back into my face. It's also being reflected from the sky and anything that's in front of me. If you can see something, there's light hitting it. And the light that is hitting my front now, since it's coming from behind, is indirect. That indirect, softer light is going to fill in shadows rather than create dark shadows. But there's still enough contrast where you can still see definition in my face. We still want to see that my nose is at an angle or that I have laugh lines. We don't want to completely lose all detail, but we want to fill in any type of imperfection. So I hope that makes it a little bit more clear.